share this. Huh. Can you see ma everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yeah. So I said exclusive economic zone is that each coastal state may claim an EEZ beyond and adjacent to its territorial sea that extends up to 200 nautical miles. That's what I said you. That is Indian Ocean. If you take India and then Indian Ocean 200 nautical miles, whatever it is, still there, it is our territorial water, and India has every right to take or extract the minerals which are available till 200 nautical miles. Beyond that, it is not our water. You cannot take the resources from there. So within its EEZ, a coastal state has sovereign rights for the purpose of exploring, exploiting, conserving, and managing natural resources, whether living or non-living. Just now I told you, till 200 nautical miles. That is from the base. Like for example, ours is the Kanyakumari. From Kanyakumari till that 200 nautical miles, we have every right over that entire territorial waters. Beyond that, we don't have the right. We cannot explore anything there. Rights to carry out activities like production of energy from the water, currents, wind, that is also given to you. Unlike the territorial sea and the contiguous zone, the EEZ only allows for the above mentioned resource rights. No airspace, no water space, only you are allowed to produce or use it for your purposes. It does not give a coastal state the right to prohibit or limit freedom of navigation or overflight, subject to very limited exceptions. All these will not be there. What is high seas? The ocean surface and the water column beyond the EEZ are referred to as the high seas. So beyond the water column, that means beyond 200 nautical miles, whatever is there, that is referred to as the high seas. It is considered as the common heritage of all mankind and is beyond any national jurisdiction. It is called as no nation's land, it is called as. That means the entire ocean waters beyond 200 nautical miles belongs to the entire world, to the entire humanity, not to a single country as such. And these waters are usually supervised by this UNCLOS, international organization. Suppose if any country tries to utilize the resources or use it for any economic purposes, this international organization has every right to take an action against a particular country. Am I clear? They are called as high seas. States can conduct activities in these areas as long as they are peaceful purposes. As I tell you that, not anything else, such as transit, marine science, undersea exploration. Suppose if you want to conduct any research or something, like for example, in Antarctica also you can go, you can explore, you can do research, but you cannot bring even a stone or sand also from there. You all know that, no? You all have an idea? Yes, Ilan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have to say yes or no to me, no? When you go to Antarctica, you can go. You have your own research stations over there. You conduct a research, but you will not bring even a stone also from there. That is the rule over there. So same way here also same thing happens. In the high seas, you conduct, you go for explorations, you do research, whatever it is, but you will not take any resource for your benefit of the country as such. So with this, I complete this particular topic as such, and I'll come back to the class. I'll be sending this for you, and it is followed by the MCQs also. You can go through them.
That will really help them.
Yeah, I will send you the entire thing for you. Even
Yes, yes, yes.
multiple choice questions along with the answers are there. You can go through that particular topic also. Shailaja, I think I have two more topics left over. One is biosphere is there, and the other one is, I think, I don't know, rock cycle I explained or not. I will take that. So next week I'll start with biosphere.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll be sending that particular thing for you.